I want to know about my history. And the only person that's here to tell me any stories is my dad. And I actually learned a lot from my dad. We sat down. We have, like, at their house, there's this shed. It's big. We call it, like, the man cave. And me and my dad kind of share it. So it's a man gypsy cave. And we just sit and we chat. We rock in the rocking chairs. We swap stories until, like, midnight. And it's really nice getting to connect with him. What's something that I wish I would have told my younger self? Well, I guess you could say in context to that conversation that what I was just talking about, I wish I could have told my younger self that my dad does love me and, like, wanted to be a part of my life. Growing up, when I tell you, my mom said so many things about my dad. Like, my mom told me this one story, and of course it's not true because I asked my dad. But there's one story that my mother had told me that I was a baby and my mom was at home with me, and my dad came home drunk one night, and I was crying and crying and crying. And so my dad picks me up by my throat and then throws me at my mom and is like, "Shut her up or I will." And this is the kind of stuff that my mother told me about my father growing up. So to answer the question of, like, why didn't I reach out to my dad? Well, shit. I grew up thinking he was a piece of shit. I mean, I didn't know him, so all I had to go on at that time was her stories of him. So, and then when I got older, I got out of prison, I asked him, I'm like, "Dad, my mom told me this story about you. Is this true?" He's like, "Absolutely not. That is crazy. Absolutely not." So, I mean, in my head, I have her version of things, and then I have to sort that out with the reality. It's hard. Because it's like, as a child, I already had, like, a formed opinion about my dad and what he was like without actually knowing him. So to have to change all that, it's pretty crazy.